Dun, 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 dun. All right. Yes. Yes. A couple of. I'm going to do a brief on the Peanuts movie. Yeah. There was some earlier commotion during the Disney story about the Peanuts movie. So there's early stuff about that, the Peanuts movie, and we didn't go to see it until I went to see it 2 weeks ago, and I thought I would just cover that right now, real brief. I did see the Peanuts movie. Mark's Cards also saw it at some other time. Well, it was fun. It was different. They used computer-generated animation to do it, which was different. I think a lot of the diehard Peanuts cartoon fans wanted it to be a straight up cartoon, do like cartoon, and yeah, that did look a little odd. I thought that was a little bit of it threw you out of it a little bit. It was like watching the plastic action figures from Happy Meal doing Peanuts at times, but I think it worked visually as a movie. I think it worked in a lot of ways. The critics seem to like it. The only really obviously glaring, the only really messy part in it was like, okay, it's supposed to take place. First half takes place about Christmas time, and for some reason, they bookend it into the springtime for the second half, like it's a whole year or something, even though it really isn't. And although the apocrypha and canon of the little red-headed girl, Peppermint Patty and Lucy and Charles Schultz, you can read about that online. Apparently, Charlie Brown is a Mary Sue, and well, we know that. And the little redhead girl actually never gets with Charlie Brown. I think that the apocrypha is that he ended up with Lucy for a while, but then Lucy dumped him, or they got divorced or something, and he ended up with Pepper and Patty. I think it was something like that. And then yeah, so Charles Schultz's sons are from Lucy and then Peppermint Patty. If they were literally the characters, because that's the apocrypha, that's the internet thing. It may not be entirely accurate, but who knows? He was divorced once, Charles Schultz. The movie, but this is tied into the movie because the redheaded girl is introduced in the movie, and Charlie Brown tries for the whole movie to try and get to meet the redheaded girl, and meanwhile Snoopy is hallucinating. He's running around pretending he's fighting the Red Baron, which is from the comic books, but they spent a little too much time on that. So much so that the middle of the movie is the Red Baron fight thing, and he's like trying to find his Fifi and whatever, which is okay, but not for 15-20 minutes of the movie. No, and as a gag now and then for 5 minutes maybe, that's fine. But turning it into an action picture where Snoopy is fighting the Red Baron makes it a different movie. It's a Snoopy movie, and we've already seen that. It was a Snoopy movie. That's one drawback. Like the action thing didn't need to be there. It was like, why is that there? But other than that, it's like, I mean, briefer, But it worked in other movies, but not in that one. I guess they thought they needed something going on besides just Charlie Brown pining for the redheaded girl. But so yeah, Lucy and Pepper and Patty are of course in it, and and Linus and Schroeder and Sally and everybody. And Pigpen, and there's some funny lines in it, including one where Pigpen gets wet and he gets, because he's a stinky carry smell. I don't know why he'd be stinky, but he's stinky, and there's like dust coming off him and stuff. He gets wet at one point. He's by a lake or something, and water gets on him, and then they don't recognize him. That was kind of funny, but yeah, but then he gets dirty again. So yeah, there was a kite tree scene. There was a lot of stuff from the comics and the comic books. They did put that in there, and yeah, the Red Baron thing is in there too, but not so much. It needed that much. I mean, I liked it, but it didn't. It could have been 60 minutes, and they could have taken out the extra stuff that didn't need to be there. The springtime stuff really didn't need to be there, but I guess they figured, well, we have to make it The ending make it more like, like, oh, it's let's allude to the summer camp being the sequel, kind of. So I was like, no, maybe not. They spent whole other movies, feature films on some of these shorts. They weren't really, well, they were shorts too. There's the pumpkin one and the Christmas one and the Easter one, and many of which have been parodied online, and we make fun of those parodies frequently on the Kal Kat Show. So Snoopy is insane and thinks that he's fighting a Red Baron for the love of Fifi. Yeah, which is probably an allusion to War and Peace or something, because they reference War and Peace. But yeah, World War One and Winds of War a little bit. They kind of mixed them. Winds of War was later though, wasn't it? That's Herman Wouk. Anyway, so but War and Peace was Leo Tolstoy. That was another oddity in that movie. Leo Toy Story is referenced as a Leo Tolstoy. They get it wrong. But if the Peanuts universe movie, the Peanuts movie, now the Peanuts movie, in the movie, it's supposed to not be now. It's then. It's probably 1940, somewhere around there. Maybe after, because it would have to be the 40s. It had to be before World War II. Otherwise, Snoopy wouldn't be fighting the Red Baron. He would be fighting somebody from World War II. So it had to be before the Great War in World War II. So it was the 30s. The movie takes place in the 40s, probably the 40s. So referencing Toy Story from 1990 something, just because your audience are little kids, don't do that. I mean, I know they were making a joke, Toy Story, Leo Tolstoy, but it doesn't work as a joke because you're basically breaking the fourth wall and saying, look, here's another movie we're going to reference from your current time period. They had the same problem in Return to Neverland, the Disney cartoon that was released on TV, in which they made Wendy contemporary and spunky and had her have short cropped hair so she looked like she was from the 30s, which was odd. But they made her spunky and contemporary. And it's like, wait a second, that doesn't work. So this one, they kept the characters fairly accurate. The actors they got to play them were actually children, which was interesting. The child actors. In the original comic strips, they were not children. They were adults playing children when they did the TV show stuff. So it's Peanuts movie. Go if it's still in theaters, go see it. So it was good. It just overlong, that's all, in parts. Good, but overlong. The springtime section should have been another movie. They should have just said, okay, all the winter stuff's here. He finds the little redheaded girl, end of movie. Okay. That waits 3 shorts. It's like 1.5 hour short, 1.5 hour short, 1.5 hour. They didn't want to do that. So, in the end, it was not bad. It's okay. It's good.